here, no coincidence. Title that's irrelevant. Burn filthy dead presidents, judging by his character. Most of y'all believe there's a country called America. Gotta own your own mind, you a shining light. Put it on the line, cause the timing right. On point center while the earth spin. If you want it, go get it, put the work in. Cause you a shining light. I see the light that was sent to
This is Maximal Development.
Well, Maximal Development is a non-profit organization that was created in 2008 on March 21st. Maximum Development purpose was to serve the people. When I say serve the people, I mean not like just how church serve the people or how your government serve the people, but I'm talking about the mixture of the two. Maximum Development purpose is the resurrection of nationality, and the nationality that Maximum Development practice is moral science. And when I say moral science, I mean the science of studying the knowledge of who you are. So it's being a Moorish American. I think we like the mirror. We basically like the mirror. I would say moral science. And again, it's the study of the Moors, which is who? The color of us right now. You know, where they call you a nigger, black, or color, or African American, or Afro American. We're at in Africa. The color black doesn't have a nationality nor language. So our purpose is to bring these things to us because we haven't had that. We generally been speaking English, Ebonics wise, you know, according to society. But again, in a nutshell, it's basically is to bring a nationality. You know, it's not too much religion. Our religion is the nationality part. You know, we got enough religion around in the world to feed everybody, but no one is addressing the who are you? After slavery, who are you? Or before slavery, who are you? So these are the things that we address. Maximum Development also addresses psychological damage that we have been put through, you know, within this so-called 400 years. It's been more than that. But on this landmass, slavery has a lot to do with it. Slavery didn't only bind the peoples physically, but it did it on a psychological standpoint, and that's what we're suffering from right now. But no one wants to address that. The church don't want to address that because I guess it, I guess take away from their profits. So, you know, and I ain't saying profits, I'm saying profit. So, you know, so who else is going to tell you about yourself? Is it the school? I don't think so. We got Black History Month, 28 days. How can they tell you about who you are? So we have people running around here, the only people on the planet Earth that don't have their own language, you know, and if you want us to share the American flag, I can't tell with the action of society. We don't have our own religion, we don't have our own culture, we don't have our own way of life, so we mimic the slave masters. And the Martin Luther King supporters in this early stage, they want to say we should overcome, let's hold hands, Obama type of situation. That's cool. You know, hey, I'm for that. Obama and Martin Luther King and so forth and so on, but the facts of the matter is you can have all these individuals that's in government or that's leaders, and what do you have? You have a whole lot of nothing. Within the justice system alone, a white man can commit a crime the same as I do and get less time. That's not justice, that's just us. We already know that. That's been said many a times. So my thing is, again, in a nutshell, man, is to bring some kind of justice to the Moors and the Moors in the United States. And what that consists of is the Moors, before it became Morocco specifically, the Moors was the empire spread from in the middle of Africa all the way down to the southwest, so all the way down to just that little piece of information is what I hold on to because it's real. All treaties stand up within a World Powers Act, and we are a nation that's been in war since 1933. So like I said, we don't have a lot to stand on as far as in black people, but if you just research, your research and don't do a whole lot of Wikipedia, you can find who you are, man, just through the internet or just through books, man. So again, Maximal Development is a place where you can get who you are, who your God is, who you are within the system, I would say society, and what can you do to make it out of the psychological damage that's being created for you.
All right, second question. Who is Collins Bay?
I say Collins Bay in a nutshell, and I use the term loosely. Nutshell is this individual from Kansas City, Kansas, Wyandotte County, coming to Colorado, on a different kind of standpoint, as far as in the street standpoint, being incarcerated and taking the time when I was incarcerated to see what was my problem, because in a lot of ways I felt I didn't have a problem. So, excuse me. So when noticing that I did have a problem on a psychological tip, I investigated because nobody ever told me that I have a problem. So my behaviors, it's self-evident when you end up in a penitentiary system. So as I began to investigate through different schools of thought, I see that slavery wasn't just physical; it was a psychological. It was a psychological thing, and we haven't been taught how to notice that. So my job is to bring that out. My job is to bring, instead of referring to ourselves as black, which is a color, according to science of death, African American, we're in Africa. Look how many countries is on that continent. Afro American, because of my hair, I have no hair. Color, we all some kind of color. And European term, the most colors of everybody at one time. These different nomenclatures that lead to a psychology of slavery is something that I want to invest in, because it's just like a dog. If I have a dog called Akili, but I give it to you and you feed it and you call it Susie, and then you don't want it anymore, so you hand it on to the next man and he call it Brenda. That's where we at right now in America. We have been diluted with so many names, and with names, against the nomenclatures, aka misnomers. When you give something a name, it takes on that characteristics, and that's what we've been doing all week.
While the earth spin, if you want it, go get it, put the work in, cause you was shining light. I see the light that was sent to me, so I speak like frequency. Burn that keep, see, we no sleep. Don't turn your cheek, cause you gotta live free. See the light that was sent to me.
To my community and the people who look like us, and to the people who don't look like us, because it's real strange how foreigners that come into this country and they eat off our land that we built. It's funny that they don't know our history, and when I tell them our history as being slaves, they acting like they're so shocked and astounded. But America like to keep that, I guess, they secret, but nothing's a secret. Even your secret societies is not a secret, because individuals understand that the secret is us. So, yeah, that's who Collins Bay is, bro.
That's where. All right, what are some of the non-profit, organizations you work with?
Well, we started out working with the Goodwill in 2008 when we started out. And that was going to schools like East High School, George Washington, to basically give a brief demonstration on goal settings. We then began to work with various organizations. One was Padres Unidos, and that's a real good organization. Their job is on the Denver side is to basically see the DPS keep a close watch on their disciplinarian conduct. Just like in the penal system, they tend to reward or to punish minorities a little bit different than Caucasians. But they've been so active in their relentless views and their relentless acts that they actually got Latinos down. And the only ones who's really up in suspension and expulsions is African Americans. So they tend to work with what is that, North High School out there on the west side. That's one of their model schools, and they have held the superintendent of the DPS system accountable. They have done various things, but again, there is no face for us. We have no one fighting out here for us. So, who's going to stand up? We're going to stand up. Maximal Development is going to stand up. The members of my organizations is going to stand up through various ways and various acts and through various voting acts also. Even though our voting rights is about to be up. But that's neither here nor there. Padres Unidos is a good organization that we have worked with, did a few things with. They lack the bridge between African Americans and Latinos. And that's a bridge that we need to solidify. If you don't hear nothing else, we need to solidify the bridge between African Americans, or black, or Negroes, or niggers, whatever you want to, niggas, whatever you want to be called. We need to solidify that bridge so we can have a better communication and a better, I would say, working relationship within the community, because we are in the impoverished community. I also have worked with groups like VORP of Denver, and which is the good program also. VORP of Denver, what they do is they take, it don't matter where your economical geographics is, if you're stealing, you're stealing. So it's a diversion program, and they send individuals to their program. The most individuals there, of course, are Latinos and African Americans. But there's not enough African Americans, I would say more American volunteers there. With our faces, a lot of white people. And with a lot of white people, you know how we are with white people, anybody else with white people, we are non-trusting of them because of their history. And you are what your forefathers are, without a shadow of contradiction. So, my thing will be to individuals that's out there right now, man. There's a lot of nonprofits out there that would like for us to join with them so we can basically get our people together. But it's like, at the same time, I experienced these nonprofits. They want us there, but they don't want us to have no say. And if we do have a say, they'll find some way to not just slander you, but to assassinate your character, which is all the same thing, but the assassination of a character is all the way around. And these organizations know who I'm talking about, know who I'm talking to. That's just some of the individuals that we've worked with. Our next project is to get the community informed about recidivism, because recidivism is a real problem for the so-called African American. Just statistics wise, we are 4.1% of Colorado. There is 1 in 17 of African Americans that will be incarcerated in Colorado, opposed to the 1 in 24 average, in the United States. To me, that's a real problem, because we're not like a New York or Chicago or a Kansas City or Detroit or LA. We are a small community of African Americans, and to me, that's a problem. That's an all-out assault on us.
What is recidivism again?
Recidivism, what it is not verbatim, but recidivism is the basically behavior of committing a crime. It's like, okay, I've been to the penitentiary before, but when I get out, I feel all hope is lost. So what I do, I continue to do what I did to put me back in that kind of situation. So, you know, it's a repeat of, you know, it's an open door policy, psychologically. You know, so recidivism, look it up. I mean, I didn't make it up. It'd have been cool if I did, but it's got a re on there, R-E. So R-E means repeat anything. So we're repeating the cycle of going back and forth to the penitentiary. But the thing is we're not repeating the cycle of procreation, and that's the thing that we need right now. The Mexican Americans, their procreation is through the roof. Our procreation is guidelined by the government. That's why they have the 3-day after pill. Not for us, not for the Europeans or nobody else, but for us. Europeans is taking pills and things that have triplets and quadruplets and all that, so it can't be for them. And Mexicans don't need no help. So it has to be for us, man. And that's what we need to realize, man, that all these AIDS, all this penitentiary, man, all this drug, all this guns, all this stuff, you know, that promotes death is for us, man. And why? It's in all actuality, look at history. You know, they enslaved us. The Jews talk about the Holocaust like it's really something. That's nothing. Y'all still maintain y'all language, y'all flag, y'all heritage, y'all culture, everything about y'all maintain as Jews. But as Hebrews or as Moors, we haven't retained or maintained anything that's about us, except for our color. But genetically, we're not supposed to speak English. That's why we speak slang. Because we're regurgitating this hideous language from our DNA in some kind of way. We're going to always stay up on slang on y'all. Y'all going to always be on the 80s slang with us. We in the 3000s right now with slang. Y'all still trying to keep up because y'all got other street dwellers that's snitching. But that's neither here nor there. To basically sum all this up, and I got to go, man. To sum all this up, man, maximum development is for the community. It started in Aurora, but it's for everybody in Colorado, man. It's everybody who looks like us first, because we have the biggest problem. And if you any other kind of race and think that we don't, then you have a problem within yourself. You know, on an economical standpoint, we are the lowest and the bottom of the totem pole. We're the biggest consumers, but we own nothing. That's a problem. We don't own that many houses, so we can start to grow things. We always buying things. We are people that's buying things once upon a time, and then after the Reconstruction period, we own our own hospitals, banks, schools. We didn't depend on the white society for nothing, but it was till Martin Luther King and them came and told me he had a dream. That was his dream. It wasn't my dream. Never. To align myself with a people that has a mentality of supremacy to the standpoint that it will damage or hinder another's freedom. You know, so that's why I'm glad I speak slang. I will never speak English properly. Mimiku Papa Sa Way. I'ma always hold on to my own everything, and this is not being addressed. This is a problem. And this is where, you know, basically what we're going through. So, man, yeah, man.
Days we ain't have it. Still the good times, never see the dark matter. Just know it's there, some living by the faith. Others day to day, but it's all give and take. Put in what you get out, but the mental make it happen. We only seeing physical, so we just imagine. Life without worry, gotta be a shining light. Cause they gon' tell the story all wrong, out of spite. That's life.
See the light that was sent to shine. So I speak like frequency. Earn that keep seaweed, no sleep. Don't turn your cheek cause you gotta live free. See the light that was